Ranking every Call of Duty from worst to best. Welcome to the channel, I'm Austin, and Call of Duty was one of my favorite games I played growing up, and I've played every single COD. This is going to be my opinion and what the best Call of Duty titles are for multiplayer. I want you guys to comment what you think the best and worst Call of Duties of all time are. Kicking it off with the worst Call of Duty of all time, Advanced Warfare. When the game was first released, it was a cool new idea and felt fresh, but it quickly diminished. First off, it has the clunkiest and worst advanced movement of the 3 jetpack CODs. Second, it introduced heavy skill-based matchmaking for the first time, ruining the casual experience. And finally, it introduced supply drops, which were a cool addition at first for post-launch content, but quickly turned into pay-to-win when the weapon variants were better than the base weapons. And there was no way to unlock them other than getting lucky. They introduced a lot of bad things into COD, and for that, it's the worst of all time. Next up is Modern Warfare 2019. First, I want to make it clear this doesn't include Warzone, just the multiplayer. The gunplay was crisp and smooth. They added the gunsmith. That is the end of the positives for this multiplayer. First, they made the time to kill ridiculously fast, which lowers the skill gap and promotes camping. They completely ruined classic maps by adding safe spaces. Developers literally said they wanted to add safe spaces to every map for players who weren't good at the game. This also promotes camping. Then they had really heavy skill-based matchmaking. This was the slowest paced Call of Duty of all time. COD is supposed to be a fast-paced arcade shooter. This was the opposite of that. Next up, Infinite Warfare. This game was way better than Advanced Warfare, but is the most hated game because people were over jetpacks when it was the 3rd straight release of it. This didn't feel like a Call of Duty game, it was more of a sci-fi shooter. They had way too many weapon variants and the maps weren't great. The game was just boring and had little excitement to it. They took the movement style of Black Ops 3 but failed to give it the same feel. Next up, Call of Duty Vanguard. One thing they fixed was the speed of the game with their new take on maps and pacing. They have a few different playlists for lobby sizes. If you're playing on a big map, there's going to be more players. It makes perfect sense to help with the pacing of the game. But the reason this title is so low is because of its absolutely horrendous spawn system that might be the worst in Call of Duty history. They couldn't figure it out for smaller maps or maps with larger player counts. Then on top of that, they have kill streaks instead of score streaks. This makes almost no one play the objective because no one cares to win. Most people are playing this for camos or to level up weapons for Warzone. Score streaks would have helped fix that issue. Next up, we got Black Ops Cold War. This is yet another game to suffer from intense skill-based matchmaking and being only played for Warzone. The game was vibrant and had solid maps, but the gunplay was inconsistent, the movement felt a little bit odd, and the new score streak system just wasn't good. Your score didn't reset on death. They basically made the score streaks just like to support kill streaks within Modern Warfare 3. They were more focused on the low-skill player base instead of its core fans. The game did have solid pacing for a COD title and had a high enough time to kill to manage to have a decent skill gap, but the only really fun game modes were the 2v2 and 3v3. The game just wasn't fun in general. Next up, World War II. This was released after the outcry of wanting a boots-on-the-ground Call of Duty to return to the basics. But on release, this game was a horrible, unfinished product, maybe the worst Call of Duty of all time. The game had less than 10 maps on launch, which is a crime. You could have seen everything the game had to offer within a couple hours of playing. But luckily they reworked the game 5 to 6 months into the life cycle, and the game did become very enjoyable to play. They added a bunch of maps, reworked the perks and score streaks, but by that point most of the player base had already quit the game. It was too little, too late. Next up, Call of Duty Ghosts. This is basically just a better version of Modern Warfare 2019 because it eliminated the safe spaces. The gunplay was the best in COD history, the weapons all felt fantastic, but the maps and pace of play were bad on top of poor kill streaks. The time to kill was too fast. Big maps plus fast time to kills made for one of the campiest Call of Duties of all time. Search and Destroy was easily the top mode in this game, and it had all the potential in the world to be a top tier Call of Duty, but the maps truly held it back. Next up, Black Ops 4, a game that people either loved or hated because it did divert away from the classic Call of Duty. They got rid of health regeneration and you had to use stims in order to regain your health. Then they had specialists as they had in Black Ops 3, but made them way more prominent to the style of play depending on which one you used. It truly felt like a worse version of Black Ops 3. The maps were decent, the guns were decent, and that's how I would describe the multiplayer in general, as a decent experience even if it wasn't the classic Call of Duty formula. We have finished the bottom half of Call of Duty titles. Make sure to hit the like button if you're ready for the rest, and subscribe for more Call of Duty content. Next up, we have World at War, a classic Call of Duty title that was really fun to play, even if the MP40 was a little bit overpowered. I don't have it higher on the list because it was just a World War reskin of Call of Duty 4, which made the game really fun. I wish COD would copy its old games a little bit more nowadays. It had great maps like Castle, Cliffside, and Outskirts. Also, it had the first iteration of attack dogs, one of my favorite kill streaks in Call of Duty history, but it didn't do anything to move the COD franchise forward, so I couldn't put it higher on the list. Next up, COD 4. I just mentioned it, but this was the true turning point in the COD franchise history that made it leapfrog into one of the biggest gaming titles of all time. All the things we find common in multiplayer today originated from this game. Custom classes, perks, kill streaks, and 3-lane maps. It was truly incredible how they were able to design such quality maps like Vacant, Crash, Overgrown, and Crossfire without having a blueprint before this. Recent Call of Duties can't even do this today, even though they have countless top-tier maps giving them the formula. This game really set up all future Call of Duty success. The smoothness of COD movement came from this game. It was super simplistic, but it was the first stepping stone to create the franchise. Next up, Black Ops 3, the best jetpack COD by a mile. I almost put it higher on the list because they fixed a lot of issues from Advanced Warfare to create a truly fun experience with Advanced Movement. The only con to it was they did keep in the supply drops from Advanced Warfare and locked weapons behind them. But the plus side is they did give away supply drops for free with guaranteed weapons in them. Not a perfect solution, but a marked improvement. The maps were designed beautifully to encourage fights with boots on the ground while having wall-running spots to flank. Then you had the boost jump, which allowed players to push buildings in many different ways, helping to get rid of camping. They toned down the skill-based matchmaking tremendously, focusing more on connection and then balancing the teams inside the lobby, which is how it should be done. The score streaks were also plentiful and great, giving a bunch of different options. This is the only game I got Dark Matter camo in, and this is the last true great Call of Duty to be released. Next up, Modern Warfare 2. This started the greatest 4-year stretch in Call of Duty history. All top 4 games were released in this time. This is arguably the most fun COD, and with its amazing maps like High Rise, Favela, and Scrapyard, it had great weapons like the SCAR, Intervention, Smash 12, and my personal favorite, the ACR. That's partially because it is my initials, and it had amazing kill streaks with the Harrier, AC-130, Pavlo, and Chopper Gunner. And of course, it introduced the nuke, and there was no better feeling in Call of Duty than getting your first nuke, which I got on Quarry. Where did you guys get your first nuke? I'd love to hear it in the comments. This game had a lot of issues, and I won't list them all, but a couple standouts are, of course, grenade launchers with one-man army, Commando, and a bunch of glitches that the developers just never cared to fix. But this game advanced Call of Duty so much and led to these next few titles being great. They added more high-powered kill streaks and pro perks, to name a couple of things. This game will always have a special place in the community's hearts. Next up, Modern Warfare 3. This took the issues of Modern Warfare 2 and fixed most of them. Grenade launchers were no longer good. There was no one-man army or commando. The game was a sweet balance of COD 4 and Modern Warfare 2. It was more balanced but kept the high-powered kill streaks and fun. Then they added a huge game changer with Specialist bonus, which allowed you to unlock every perk in the game with a 7 kill streak. This was designed for people who wanted to go for Moabs, the new version of the nuke, and you felt unstoppable when you got Specialist bonus. This game also introduced new fan-favorite game modes like Infected. Then I can't say enough about the maps in this. It brought back a fan-favorite map, Terminal, from Modern Warfare 2, and then it had other great original maps like Dome, Hard Hat, Village, and Resistance. This is my favorite Modern Warfare title of all time. Next up, we got Black Ops 1. This is my favorite Call of Duty of all time, and I can't say enough about it. It had everything. It had great maps with Nuketown, Firing Range, Jungle, WMD, and Grid, just to name a couple of them. We had great weapons like the FAMAS, Commando, AK-47, AK-74U, and one of my personal favorites, the MPL. We had amazing kill streaks like the Chopper Gunner, Gunship, Attack Dogs, and the Blackbird, which was introduced and became a staple in Call of Duty multiplayer, even in Warzone with the advanced UAV. We had custom private matches and wager matches where you could bet COD points on sticks and stones, gun game, and one-shot matches, giving them extra stakes. We didn't have to unlock attachments via level up, we actually got them through COD points which you earned from playing the game. I don't know why this system was never used again. Then it added the theater system for the first time. You could save and edit your gameplays like this one where I was using tomahawks and ballistic knives only. This game had funky weapons that were fun to use even if they weren't that great, but we had no skill-based matchmaking, allowing us to have fun in the game and try out random stuff like akimbo SMGs, and that's really the root of Call of Duty. It should be fun, and that's exactly what this game was. Even though it wasn't perfect, it was really close. The best Call of Duty of all time has to be Black Ops 2. This game truly had everything. It not only had great guns, but great gun balance, which doesn't come by too often in COD multiplayer. We had great customization, excellent maps, smooth gunplay, and memorable weapons. This took the best parts of Black Ops 1, but made them even better. The game created score streaks which rewarded objective play and added even more incredible streaks, giving you plenty of combinations to rock with. Then it implemented the League Play section for the first time in COD history, allowing you to play competitively if you wanted, and putting you into different divisions. No iteration of League Play has ever held up to what they did in Black Ops 2. This is how skill-based matchmaking should work. Only have it in competitive play, and have public playlists be connection-based, and then you balance the teams inside the lobby. It implemented the Pick 10 system for the first time in COD multiplayer, where if you wanted more attachments, you could go for it. If you wanted more perks, then you can. It allowed us to make the most class possibilities ever. This game still had Force Game Chat and Search and Destroy, one of the best modes for people talking crap. Search isn't the same without the game chat. Remember the amazing original maps like Standoff, Raid, and Hijacked? Then it also had great remasters with the best maps from Black Ops 1, like Firing Range and Nuketown. I have so many hours in this game because Black Ops 2 is the greatest Call of Duty of all time. And if you want to see Warzone content, I've got a video right here. Peace.